Theme of the conference, as I've said, technology-enabled urban water energy transformation for a sustainable future. Let me first invite Sri G. Asok Kumar, IAS Director General, National Mission for Clean Ganga, Minister of Jal Shakti, Government of India, to share his viewpoint on how urban water management can be a game-changing thing, especially when you talk about leveraging technology and innovation. Just to give you a brief about G. Ashok Kumar, sir, I think he's presently also holding charge of Ministry of Jal Shakti as Secretary. He is the actual rain man when you talk about bureaucracy, rain man. Over to C. G. Ashok Kumar. Huge round of applause for him, please.
Respected Chief Guest of the function, Mr. Sir, who is Chief Secretary of Uttar Pradesh, and more than that, a good friend and philosopher and guide for young bureaucrats like us, and all the delegates who are present here today. A warm welcome to all of you, and greetings on the occasion of the National Rivers Day. So I hope many of you are aware that today is the National Rivers Day, so both are functions Delhi may be. But since Sir said that I should come, that's why I came here, sir. So I thank APAC also for organizing this function on this Rivers Day, because APAC had been doing a lot of work for the last 4 or 5 years. We together started the campaign Catch the Rain. When nobody was picking it up, they were the one who was with us, and then the Catch the Rain campaign with the Honorable PM launched later has become one of the biggest campaigns in the world. So all the team, APAC, also I congratulate them for organizing this. After the tremendous success of G20 event in Delhi and a lot of other events which have now pitchforked India to world stage, the world is looking towards India, and we have to respond. As Chief Secretary Sir was telling, the event yesterday where they have the investors big meet in Noida, a lot of things are happening, particularly in this state of UP, led by the CM and the Chief Secretary. Very proactively things are happening, and if UP takes off, that's where India's dream of $5 trillion economy is resting. So I'm sure that things would take off. But for this development which we plan, probably one of the key components is water. Water is the elephant in the room. Everybody talks about energy, everybody talks about that resources, this resources, but the limiting factor is going to be water. Let us understand that. And our Prime Minister very clearly understands this. And that's why he had been laying emphasis on water and water resource management for over the years. This is the first time where he formulated a ministry, Jal Shakti, Ministry of Jal Shakti, bringing towards various departments handling water, and then make a minister in charge for common decision making. Because water has been divided in silos. People working in water sector work as a groundwater expert, or a surface water expert, or river water expert, or an urban water expert, or a rural water expert. The water is same, but then water is divided among this ministry and silos of the departments, and then they don't meet each other. In Uttar Pradesh, it is in presence of CS, I would like to say there is a urban Jal Nigam and rural Jal Nigam. That is again a problem. So there are problems, interdepartmental problems, many times creating hassles in water. For that, Prime Minister started this Ministry of Jal Shakti, and after that things have picked up well. The Har Har Jal Yojana, where the plan to give tap connections to every rural household, is also picked up very well. In the UP is one of the leading state in that. And then we had the Swachh Bharat mission, again dealing with the water quality aspect. So water is, as I said, going to be the limiting resource for the dream of the $5 trillion economy. And urbanization is very, very fast happening in this country. A lot of people from the rural areas are moving to the urban area. So there are a lot of issues associated with urban sector. There is transportation issue. There are issues related to roads. There are issues related to flyovers. There are related issues housing. But again, the elephant in the room is water. Water has never been a part of the urban plannings. Most of the time, urban planners concentrate on transfer building rights, TDRs, or even the entertainment parks, probably, and probably looking at highways and roadways. Water, in many of the departments actually kept as a separate department, and unfortunately for the water, the resources are also not given because tax collections and the development rights all goes to the urban municipalities, and the poor cousin, the water is actually left to fend for itself with low water pricing. So there's hardly any revenue coming into the water department, and water actually is a big problem. I can tell you these cases of Hyderabad. Hyderabad, the water supply used to be once in 3 days in the city. Till 1983 was the last time they had water supply in Hyderabad daily. And then in 2008, I happened to be MD of that time, and the Honorable CM pushed and said that we should have daily water supply in Hyderabad. So that's even 1984, last time daily water supply in Hyderabad, and then it took almost 24 years to get back daily water supply in Hyderabad. We wanted to do water supply water daily, but then problem is, as I said, we don't have resources to do it because we are not permitted to increase the water pricing. We are not permitted to actually look at various revenue generation mechanisms. We have to do water for the slum people. The demand is much more, and we have to bring water from far off areas. In Hyderabad, we have to bring water from Krishna, about 110 kilometers away, and from Godavari, 186 kilometers away. The cost of pumping water, bringing from that area to the city is very enormous. But then we have to sell water at a very low price, and half of the water is not metered. Many of you are aware of the concept of the non-revenue water. In India, the non-revenue water is as high as 40% in some places, whereas in cities or countries like Netherlands, they talk about 4 to 5% non-revenue water. See the difference in problems. So we have a large non-revenue water, we have very poor resource base, and then we are supposed to meet this particular resource for the people. Now that's where the technology comes in. The technology-enabled urban water sector comes in. This can be a very good enabler for at least fighting some of the big problems which the urban sector face. Non-revenue water can be very much reduced if proper metering is done, if the leakages are avoided. Leakage in the sense physical leakages. There are many areas where the pipe leakage happens and you pump out X quantity of water, and at the end we get X minus some Y quantity of water. And this Y can be reduced to zero if properly technologies are used to reduce to find the leakages and correct these immediately. Second, if the metering is done at the source and at the reception point, and then compare where the water is losses, you can find out what's the losses possible. And water metering, at least if you have a meter at the every taps or at every distribution points, we will know what exactly is the water we are losing or pumping out. Now, this is a major problem in electricity also, where the AT&C losses are very high in many places because probably convenience of our staff, convenience of the governments, convenience of the industrialists, many of the losses which happens, which is accounted or which is attributed to poor people, are actually the chori which happens and given to the other big suppliers. So if we can use technology to meter the water, and if you can use technology to get the automatic reading coming up to you, to a large extent, at least we can account for it. The next step would be to plug the leakages. But these are some of the innovations which we could do in Hyderabad and long back. So this is definitely one important solution which we should push through. All the urban management people should actually take it up. As Secretary Urban Affairs, Sir, had taken up a lot of initiatives in water sector and other sectors as well. But then if under his guidance, Uttar Pradesh can push forward for 100% metering of water, not charging. Charging is a political issue that can come later, but at least let us account for all the water, let us meter all the water coming, let us all in fact take up the water, meter the groundwater also extraction, because as per records, India is the largest extractor of groundwater, much more than the second and third position countries, US and China put together. So we draw more groundwater, we use a lot of surface water, and our insatiable demand for water is ever growing. So we should have something to do with improving the water use efficiency. Water use efficiency in agriculture is very bad. Again, for people, people in the water sector will know that 85 to 90% of water usage in this country is in agriculture sector. So we talk about the urban water, drinking water management, that's a very important aspect. But again, I would say the elephant in the room in the water room is the agriculture sector. So unless you create better efficiency in water management in the irrigation sector, the overall water utilization will be increasing and the demand will keep on increasing. So to save water, we have to have proper metering, proper monitoring, and better irrigation facilities. Now coming to the urban sector management, we have to start reusing of water. Reusing water, at least on an experimental basis, we should stop usage of water in sectors like car washing or lawn, irrigating the lawn, etc. We should try to ban use of potable water for all non-potable purposes. Let us try to think about it, let us start thinking about it. If we can stop using this potable water being used for the non-potable purpose, that will be a beginning of it. See, you sometimes as a waterman or person associated with water, as a person responsible to bring water to Hyderabad from large areas, spending crores of rupees for electricity, for pumping, crores of money for treating the water, you bring that to the city and you find that water which is supposed to be used for drinking purposes, we find people wasting it for washing the car, washing the garage, watering the lawn. It's a tremendous waste of money, and because not only money, it's a resource. Whereas these can be substituted by the water which is recycled from your sewage, or grey water can be purified and used. Again, the another big problem which has come up in cities is the ROs. 50%, sorry, 10 minutes, 2 minutes, sir. ROs waste a lot of water. The pump water which comes from the water source by the gel boards come to your home, and you take it to an RO, 50% of the water gets rejected. And what we throw with the water, we throw it out. We directly keep it in the sink and it goes down. If you are not able to do it with RO, at least use that water which comes out, reject water, for washing your vegetables, for mopping your floor, and then watering your plant. So one water can be used 3 times. So multiple use of water, reuse of water can be done. So we have high time we should start thinking water as a resource which will not keep on continuing flowing forever. So the campaign which we did, as I was mentioning earlier, the Catch the Rain campaign was a very successful one. The cities get lot of rainfall. Most of this rainfall are actually sometimes because of the high intensity rainfall causing flood in the cities, causing damages and running away. So it's high time we catch the rain. As the slogan goes, catch the rain where it falls, when it falls, and ensure that the water is stored for the purpose for the summer days. We also can, if you store the water, we can also address the issues of urban flooding. So I am not getting into that, it's a big discussion. So SCADA is another important innovation in the innovation, the technology which we can use for monitoring the level of water in the supply reservoirs, and then use that SCADA to properly manage the distribution of water systems. In Hyderabad, when we started the daily water supply in 2008, one of the biggest component of success was the usage of SCADA, and that is the first time in a metro city we used SCADA. So SCADA and one control room to handle all the water issues can be of great help in getting this water solution. So there are other important technological interventions like this remote meter reading, remote remote bulk meter readers, etc., that can help in monitoring the part. So I am not getting to too many things. The last point I would say is in urban area, urban water bodies, water controlling organizations have less money. So if they can retreat the sewage, and the sewage water can be sold for industrial purposes, that can generate a lot of revenue. Surat municipality gets 140 crores by the sale of the treated sewage water. So let us think about how to use this treated water, STP's treated water, as a source of income for the people. Let me assure you, as long as urban cities are there, as long as people are living there, there will be sewage, and the sewage they will pump it down out of their houses, and the urban municipalities have responsibility to take care of sewage. If that responsibility is used as a source of income and generate good water out of it and use this as a revenue source, that will be great advantage. So there are a lot of advantages. Again, from the sludge, we can generate power, we can generate a lot of things with that. So because of the shortage time, I stop here, sir. But I definitely will look forward for your guidance, and I'm sure that UP government, which is now going in leap and bounds in development under his leadership and the leadership of Honorable CM, will be a pathbreaker in many of these things. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I don't think I need to add anything on what G. Asok Kumar sir has said, but I can only say that he's a person as a policymaker who drinks and sleep water. He's passionate about water, and not many of you must be knowing. In an earlier stints, when he was a district collector in the state of Andhra Pradesh, there are some lakes which have been named after him for his work on those districts for water conservation, and those lakes are still today there in his name. That has been a long journey 30 years back, and today he's again done that game-changing campaign called Casrain campaign, which has done a remarkable thing for water storage in India.